A priest and a nun were stranded in the desert, their camel lying motionless under the blazing sun. "Sister," the priest said solemnly, "I fear this is where our journey ends." The nun nodded quietly. Then, after a long pause, the priest asked, "Before we go, may I see your shoulders?" The nun, though surprised, agreed. She then returned the question. "Father, may I see your strength?" The priest complied, and after studying it, he remarked, "This can bring life if used properly." The nun's face brightened, and she exclaimed, "Then use it to help the camel so we can get out of here." A woman in Germany is skinny dipping in a lake. A woman in Germany is skinny dipping in a local lake when she notices a police officer waving to her from the bank. "Excuse me, Fräulein," he says, "you can't swim in this lake. It's illegal." Mortified, the woman says, "Couldn't you have told me that before I stripped naked?" The officer replies, "Stripping naked isn't illegal." A fight breaks out at a newfi wedding. Chairs are flying and women are crying. The police show up and arrest all the men involved in the scuffle. They all are brought to the courthouse, and all you hear is chatter. "Order in my court," screams the judge. "Can someone come up and please explain what happened?" Jimmy speaks up. "Well, you sees, Judge, at a newfi wedding, it's tradition for the first mate have a dance with the bride. So I gets up there and I'm dancing with the bride. She was grinding up on me, you see, and Tommy didn't take to kindly to that. So Tommy walks up and kicks her right in the pussy." "Right in the pussy?" The judge cringes as he says, "That must have hurt." Jimmy says, "Hurt? Broke 3 of me fingers." So this stunning 19-year-old blonde named Anna walks into a Detroit police station asking for a job. Just like that. No appointment, no plan, just confidence and a killer smile. The lieutenant takes one look at her resume and, yeah, let's just say she's not exactly SWAT material, but hey, it took guts to show up, so a curious captain decides to interview her anyway. "Captain, all right, let's start simple. What's 3 plus 3? Anna, without missing a beat. 6, Captain. Correct. Now, what's 100 divided by 5? Anna. Oh, that's easy. 20. Captain. Also correct. Last question. Who killed Anna, wide-eyed? Gee, I'm not sure. The captain chuckles and says, "Okay, go home, figure that one out, and come back when you know." Anna rushes home, grabs her phone, and calls her best friend. "Friend. So, how'd it go?" Anna, breathless. "OMG, you won't believe it. I got the job, and they already gave me my first case." Two old friends, Bob and Charlie, were enjoying a sunny morning round of golf, leisurely making their way to the next hole. As they strolled along, Bob mentioned casually, "You know, Charlie, I've got an appointment with Dr. T tomorrow. I'm gonna get myself a new set of dentures." Charlie's ears perked up. "Dr. T? I went to him a couple of years back for the same thing." Bob looked over with interest. "Oh yeah? How'd it go? Was he any good?" Charlie paused, thinking it over as he scratched his chin. "Well, let me tell you about something that happened just yesterday. I was out here, same as today, when some guy on the next fairway completely botched his shot. The ball came flying toward me, must have been going 180 miles an hour and wham, right in the nuts." Bob winced, feeling the pain just from hearing it. "Ouch, that's brutal. But what does that have to do with your dentures?" With a mischievous grin, Charlie leaned in and said, "It was the first time in 2 years my teeth didn't hurt." Bob stood there, stunned for a second, and then both men burst into laughter, their hearty chuckles echoing across the golf course. A wife went to the police station with her neighbor to report her husband missing. The officer asked for a description. She replied, "He's 35 years old, 6 feet 4 inches tall, with dark eyes and wavy hair. He has an athletic build, weighs 185 pounds, is soft-spoken, and treats the kids well. The neighbor interjected, "But your husband is only 5 feet 4, chubby, bald, has a loud mouth, and is often unkind to your children." The wife shrugged and said, "True, but who would want him back?" It has been many years since the embarrassing day when the Mrs. Lester, with a baby in her arms, entered a butcher shop. She confronted the butcher with the news that the baby was his and asked what he was going to do about it. After a long discussion, he offered to provide her with free meat until the boy was 16. Sarah agreed. He has been counting the years off on his calendar. One day, the boy who had been collecting free meat each week came into the shop and said, "I'll be 16 tomorrow." "I know," said the butcher with a smile. "I have been counting too. When you take this parcel of meat home, tell your mother that it is the last free meat she's getting, and watch the expression on her face." When the boy arrived home, he told his mother what the butcher had said. She just smiled and replied, "Son, go back to the butcher and tell him that I have also had free bread, free milk, and free groceries for the last 16 years, and watch the expression on his face." James, the town gossip and self-appointed monitor of the local church's morals, kept sticking her nose into other people's business. Several members did not approve of her extracurricular activities, but feared her enough to maintain their silence. She made a mistake, however, when she accused Harry, a new member, of being an alcoholic, after she saw his old pickup parked in front of the town's only bar one afternoon. She emphatically told Harry, and several others, that everyone seeing it there would know exactly what he was doing. Harry, a man of few words, stared at her for a few moments and just turned and walked away. He didn't explain, defend, or deny. He said nothing. Later that evening, Harry quietly parked his pickup in front of Irene's house, walked home, and left it there all night. You've gotta love Harry. A man is sent to prison for the first time. At night, the lights in the cell block are turned off, and his cellmate goes over to the bars and yells, "Number 12!" The whole cell block breaks out laughing. A few minutes later, somebody else in the cell block yells, "Number 4!" Again, the whole cell block breaks out laughing. The new guy asks his cellmate what's going on. "Well," says the older prisoner, "we've all been in this here prison for so long, we all know the same jokes. So we just yell out the number instead of saying the whole joke." So the new guy walks up to the bars and yells, "Number 29." This time, the whole cell block rocks with the loudest laughter, prisoners rolling on the floor, laughing hysterically. When the guffaws die down, the bewildered new guy turns to the older prisoner and asks, "How come you guys were laughing so hard this time?" "Oh," says the older man, wiping tears from his eyes, "we'd never heard that one before."